Good morning, good morning, good morning. Alrighty. Welcome to Pixel Chatter number 58. Second Pixel Chatter for 2019. And I've got some news to share with you. Some good, some a little sad. We'll get to that shortly. How's everyone doing? Just monitoring the chat box on my phone as usual. So if you see me looking at my phone, it's not that I'm not paying attention to the show, it's that I'm actually paying attention to the show and I'm trying to read the notes to see what's going on. Alrighty, let me know that you can see and hear everything all good. That'll be great. Who we got here? G'day, Handy Parts, always first. Good morning, Rick. It is a bit cooler, isn't it? What a change in Sydney, or in Australia even, you know. We had a huge cool change come through, but I think it is going to get warmer again real soon. Dave, you missed hearing about the new starting time. Yeah, we changed it to an hour later to allow people, including myself, to be able to go out and shoot sunrise. I didn't head out this morning, though, to be completely frank. It was the weather's not great. I did go out yesterday morning, and it was terrible. So there you go. As we had a southerly change came through, and it sort of destroyed the skyline with thick cloud and then lots of drizzle. So the shower caps were on the camera. Brian, g'day. Not feeling well. Hopefully we can cheer you up today, buddy. Don't be afraid to reach out if you need to talk. All right. Who else we got here? Gianni, g'day. Tim Trim from the Soggy North. Yeah, stay safe up there, buddy. For those that don't know, Tim's up north in Australia, and right now in the north of Australia, they're having some pretty torrential downpours up there. So stay safe, my friend. Lots of flooding going on there, I saw in the news. Hopefully not too close to you. What's we got? Gary Davis, g'day. Gary's out at Bathurst. I heard there was a lotto winner out there the other day for 20 mil. Was that you, Gary? Maybe you can upgrade your camera gear. Aussie Paul, good morning. Barla, good morning. Anthony, g'day. John, g'day. Mats, Paul, Colin. Hey, Colin, our video is going up Sunday night, tomorrow night, by the way. Rick, anyone spotted Oki? Do I start with that news? Let me start with that news. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Pixel Chatter 58. Good to have you here. And, feel free to comment away if you've got anything to say. Always love to hear from you. But I do have some pretty disturbing, sad news to start with, and I want to file a missing persons report, but I don't think it'll be a missing persons report. It's a missing... I can't find him in my bag. I've looked all through everything, and I have a really sick feeling that maybe he didn't get back in the car. Maybe he's had enough of being dragged around on my photo expedition so early in the piece too. So maybe my good friends up there near Salamander Bay could go and have a look and see if Oki's still there. But I don't know where he is. I've turned everything upside down, and he's just not around anymore. So I think Oki got sick and tired of being a part of this charades and did a runner. I think that's what happened. So if you know anything about the location... Is that better? You should have sound now. Sorry about that. So what I was saying was, when we last saw Oki, he was refereeing a match between the Nikon D850 and the Fujifilm GFX 50S camera system on the shores of Salamander Bay, and I don't think he got back in the car. That's what I'm thinking. I think he did a runner. So maybe maybe one of my friends up that way could go and check. Poor parenting, yeah, very poor parenting. But he did the runner. Oh, Andrew Dawes says he's going to check for me. I don't know where he went, but anyway, he had a good time. He enjoyed being part of the team. He didn't like his pay packet; it was a little skinny, and I think maybe that's why he's done the run. Maybe he took a job offer somewhere else for another photographer that was going to pay more. I heard he was in demand at the ice cream parlour up there in Nelson Bay. They were so busy, they were looking for somebody with 8 arms. I don't know. So, anyway, sad news to start the Pixel Chatter for this week, but that's where we are. I was devastated when I went looking for him this morning, and I thought, no, where is he? Anyway, these things happen. All right, so as you've probably worked out by now, we've got a brand new time slot, 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. That's what it is right now. So if you like this time, good, let me know. If it's, I'll be interested to know, what your thoughts are on this time of the show. If it's a better time, this is going to suit me better because I'll be able to go out and do a sunrise shoot, and that'll probably suit a lot of other people that are in Australia in the same way, that want to go out and shoot sunrise. Makes it easier for the WA people to jump on because it's an hour later. I did look at the time and date calendar to try and make it fit in with everybody to some point. So let me know what you think, and we'll see how we go. Alrighty. Poor parenting, yeah. Did the runner. Yeah, Oki escaped. Yeah. Not good, is it? Not good. Alright, cool. I'm just checking the notes there. So 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The next Pixel Chatter will be on February the 16th. The other thing that I've started doing, and I'm going to make a real effort to do on a regular basis, is Facebook Lives. I've got a Facebook page that you can go and follow me on. In fact, I'll just put that up on the screen, just like this, because we have the technology. So you can follow me on facebook.com/on3legs. And I'm going to start running just some lives on there, just with things that are happening, maybe some tips. Just trying to get that... there's a lot of people over there that follow me, about 7,500, and there's not a lot of engagement. And what I have noticed throughout my business in particular is that video is what's working really well, what people want, and Facebook is favouring that. So I'm going to start doing some lives over there. So if you enjoy live video, which you must do because you're here, then please come across and make sure you hit the notification bell, or what do you got to do on Facebook to catch up with me over there when I go live on a regular basis. But I'm going to start going live on my shoots, and just anything interesting, I'm going to just live stream it. So, photos are good, text is good, but video, I think, is just better. So that's what I'm going to do. The other thing you probably noticed, if you've been following me, I stuck up a picture of the Fujifilm GFX 50R. So I had the 50S for a few weeks. And you'll see about 4 vlog videos, I think, with the 50S. It's an awesome camera. It was great to use. And I did a live broadcast on the Facebook Thursday night because I had to give it back Friday. And now I've got the 50R, and I can see Andrew Mars just joined the chat. I've got the 23mm, the wide-angle lens from that was over in WA being used by a good friend, Andrew Marr, fellow vlogger. How are you, Andrew? Big Oz, Daryl Wood, g'day. Lots of people jumping in, which is good. So I will be shooting a bit with the 50R. Now, I had a couple of people ask me about them. Are they great cameras? Yes, they are. But they come with a different price tag to some of the other cameras. So you've got to just weigh up what is your requirements for what you do. If you're a hobbyist, you might find it a bit extreme, the price tag. I mean, I'm in the fortunate position where the good people of Fujifilm Australia are lending me these things. So, I'm not buying them. But I've always wanted to use them. I am a Fujifilm fan, always have been, and I just love their gear. I love their regular updates. So I think for me it's just it's good to be able to play with them. At this stage, I've still got the Nikon D850, which is also an amazing camera. So. But I have to say that the difference when I made the upgrade from the D810, and I was deciding between the D850 and the GFX 50S because the 50R wasn't out at that time, then the image difference between the 810 and the 850 is not worlds apart. Okay, it's better, but it's not worlds apart. From the D850 to the GFX, it's a big jump. And I know that Andrew Mars he'll talk about, and mostly it's dynamic range. And I was talking to one of the guys from Fujifilm yesterday, in fact, about what I had discovered, and it all happens in the red channel of the RGB histogram, or in the way that the camera absorbs that channel. And even he didn't really know that. I've uncovered something, and I've done a shoot where I compared the two histograms and found that the red channel in the GFX handles highlights so much better than anything else I've shot with. Now, as a landscape photographer, the red channel is the one that we rely on the most when it comes to sunsets and sunrises. So there you go. Something different. Yeah, something different. All right, lots of chit-chat going on in the chat box. It's always good. Yeah, that's my 23mm. Yeah, good stuff. You had his 23. Yes, he did. He had my 23mm. Dawsey, shouldn't you be picking up that inbox at Bunnings today? Oh, Inox. Oh, yeah. And Dawsey, keep your clothes on, mate. There's some things we don't need to see. I'm glad it was blurred. What have we got there? Today's vlog edit day. All right, fantastic. Now, let's talk about the new VIP challenge, and then we'll pick a couple of winners. And there's a brand new VIP challenge as well. So what I did at the end of last year, let me just have some of my Pixel Chatter coffee. What I did at the end of last year was I asked everybody, what could we do to make the VIP group even better? And it's an amazing community. I mean, there's a lot of VIPs here in the chat today. Now, if you're wondering what VIP stands for, it's a very important photographer. It's a community that I started to support the channel, I don't know, maybe a year ago now. And you can go to patreon.com/on3legs and show your support for as little as $2 US a month. Now, you don't have to. I'll always make the free content. But if you do become a VIP, you actually get access to a private online group. It's a Facebook group, and that Facebook group is very active. We're in there every day chatting, sharing photos. There's questions asked, VIPs helping VIPs. There's new friends being made, and of course, there's challenges. And so I'm also going to. I'll probably wait till next live stream to announce what I'm going to be doing. But I've got something really exciting going to be happening inside the VIP group as well coming up. That's going to make 2019 amazing. But I won't spill the beans yet. I'll just give you that teaser because I think I've still got to finalise some of the detail. But anyway, I asked the VIPs, what did you want from the VIP group in 2020? And I got some feedback as to the way we run the challenge, and we've changed the rules around that. And I've created a new challenge, which I just posted up there today because I didn't want anyone to know we were doing it until today's show. So the VIP challenge now is a fortnightly challenge. The Pixel Chatter show is going to become fortnightly as well. So I'm going to do this every second week instead of every week, just to give me a little bit more time to build vlogs. So I will still put content out on the, instead of the live, but I also did a survey of my entire YouTube channel, and people prefer the live vlogs over everything else. So that's what I'm going to work on. But I still will do this live show because I love it, and I know there's a real dedicated group here that love coming to these live shows. So we're going to be continuing to do this. So the VIP challenge will be fortnightly. You will have the opportunity to upload photos into the challenge from the previous 90 days. Now, the spirit of the challenge is to get you out taking photos. And as you know, when I sign off my vlogs every time, I tell you to go and get out there and take some photos. You can spend all your time in front of YouTube, but the best thing is to get out there and take some photos if you want to get better at photography. So I'm still going to encourage you to use the challenge to get out there and take some photos. Now, however, if life gets in the way, the weather doesn't cooperate, you might be on holidays, I know these things happen, you can upload an image from up to the previous 90 days. Now, it's an honesty system. We're not checking anything. There's no huge prizes at stake. So it's an honesty system, and it's more about for yourself getting better at what you do. So we will be doing that. Now, the winner of the challenge gets to pick the theme for the next challenge, and they have up to 48 hours, I think I said, to do it, or maybe 24 hours. And then if they don't, then I'll get myself or the boss will pick the next theme. Or no, I think we'll go to the runner-up and then the boss. But anyway, the rules are there, pretty clearly written out inside the challenge. So we just made those few changes. The second challenge that I've now created, I think it's a great idea, and it was requested by quite a few VIPs, was an editing challenge where a raw file gets uploaded and you get to edit that raw file in your own style. Now, this week I've uploaded my raw file. I have some reservations about the logistics of getting raw files off of people because not everyone is, it's not easy for everyone to do that. So I think what I'll do, I've got I don't know, tens and tens of thousands of images. So I've uploaded one from my D800 in 2012 for the first challenge of La Perouse. And I think what I'll do is I'll continue to do that for a while and just see how the challenge goes. And that way, you can enjoy that. So if you're a VIP, you'll find that now. It's been uploaded inside the VIP group. You'll find the link to the raw file. Go and download it and start editing. And it'll be interesting to see how everybody edits differently. I'm also going to do my own edit and put it up there. So it's my raw file. I'll do my edit. I'll show you my finished photo, and then we'll just have a look and see what everybody did. But it'll give you an idea of how each person edits differently, and then we can sort of ask each person, how did you do that? And we can learn from each other. So really, really exciting. So on that note, let's jump into the challenge and have a look at what we've got in there. Alrighty, I'll do a quick chat of the chat box. I've been going for a while there. Who's jumped in? Let's have a look. G'day Izzy, good morning. G'day Mats, could be fun, yes. Jim McDowell, grumpy photographer. I love that he puts it in his username. I'm grumpy. G'day mate, late as usual, but it's freezing in Scotland. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I saw, I've got relatives in England. Because I'm first generation Aussie. So we've got lots of relatives in England, and they've been posting on Facebook all the snow and how school's cancelled and crazy stuff. Crazy. Bill, yeah, better late than never. You're correct. Good to see you here. All right, fantastic. So let's jump into the VIP challenge. Now, as I go into this, I do want to once again say thanks to the VIPs for supporting everything that I do, because it is the VIPs that makes it all happen. And the thing that I do with the funds raised from the VIPs is I actually use that to better our channel. So, for example, this here is the new vlogging camera. Now, I don't know if you've noticed the increase in the quality of the vlogs, but this new camera, which is the Canon M50, came out of the funding to make that happen. The other thing that came out, I don't have it here, is the Osmo Pocket. So you'll see some better B-roll happening. So I'm just, I'm putting it back into the channel. I'm still in the red, of course, but that's okay. That's the joys of being a creator. But I really do appreciate the support. So if you want to be a supporter, patreon.com/on3legs, and you can join in. There are rewards, by the way, at different levels as you come in. Once you get above, I think, the $2 reward. All right, so let's jump across and share my screen. Let's do that. Here we go. Okay, so this new challenge for 2019, which is challenge 37. So we've had 36 already. Of course, you can always, once you join the VIPs, you can go back and do the other challenges. You just, no, we won't be showing them on the screen. So you can go back and look at all the other challenges if you want inspirational ideas. But this one was open, okay? And so that was the other thing, is people wanted more open challenges. So we'll do that every now and then. We'll just pop an open one in. We can't have open every week, but yeah, certainly we can have open every now and then, which means you can upload whatever you like. So let's go through the images. You'll see there's quite a few that have been entered. Chart Sealer on a dark desert highway. and he lives in Arizona, so I'm sure there's lots of desert out there. Check this one out. Ren Thielen, long exposure, star trails over Lake Yinyening. Beautiful. Look at the reflections in the water. Yeah. Stephen Cast went for a walk around Ohua Harbour Trail. It looks like someone had a project to colour seashells and leave them at points on the track. So that, yeah, it looks like an interesting collage. Here's another one new from Stephen Cast, New Moon with some gulls. Another one from Stephen Cast, Waiting for Sunrise. So you can see it's somebody waiting there in the beautiful colour. Tim Trim. So Tim's our VIP up north when where all the heavy rain is, and as you can see, he's enjoying a natural shower in front of that waterfall. Beautiful. Matt Sandquist, plus 2 degrees Celsius and ice cold on an island outside his hometown. So he's in Norway from memory. Very cold. Another one there from Matt, After Sunrise. Beautiful. Jill Heath, Sunflower Fields at Spring Creek. Nice. Another one from Jill, Meerkat at Australia Zoo. They're funny little creatures, aren't they? Definitely. Another one from Jill Heath, Tiger at Australia Zoo, Queensland. Beautiful. A couple from Australia Zoo. Wren, More of the Stars. This time with a, is it a water tank? A water tank? Yeah, water tank. A blue hour, stunning light. Tim Trim, Din Din Jabugai Country. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully I'm not offending anybody. A shot of Barren Falls. Din Din in language. Din Din. So it's a pretty significant place of the Aboriginal people, I'm guessing. Brian Willett. Good shot of the 2019 Regatta. Australia's oldest sporting event. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, I love the colours and the sails. They make good photographic things, don't they? Hoya Flower, Brian Willett. Good stuff. Tim Trim, The Watcher in the Falls. Very cool. Greg West, Sunset at Boat Harbour. Beautiful. Nice little channel of water. Greg West, Our Last Night in the Rain in the famous lone tree at Salamander Bay, which, by the way, is where Occy was last seen. All right, so that's all of our entries. Well done. So the runner goes to... Let's have a look. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. This one is the runner-up. Well done, Mats, on your runner-up for this picture here. And the winner is... as picked by the boss... where is it? So many images. Oh, I went past it again. Is this one here, the Yen Yanning Sunrise Water Tank. Well done, Ren Thielen. So, Ren, you get to pick the next challenge. So, I'll put that here. Ren, let's tag him so he knows he's got to do it, because I don't think he's in the live. You're the winner. There we go. Leaving him a note. Pick the next challenge theme and let me know. Done. Congratulations to Ren. Well done. Alrighty. Congratulations to everybody, because you got out and you took some photos, which is what it is all about. It's a good job. So let's have a look. What's going on? When will I do a review on the pocket LED lights you showed here prior to Xmas? Well, I've got them on right now. They're very good. I'll turn them off. Watch this. I'll turn them off together. So there they're off. And there I'll turn them on. There we go. Just adds that little bit of extra light. And you can turn them up, turn them down. When will I add a review? Here we go. Let's turn them right up. Makes me look ghostly, doesn't it? Where they're up bright. They're very good. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't planning to do a review on them. Did you want a review of them? There's plenty of reviews on them on the internet. God, I can see stars now. I made those so bright. They're very bright, I can tell you that much. Let's check the chat box and see what else is going on. Let me have a look. Alrighty. So, is that my 50R? Can you see it, can you? It's over my shoulder there on the, there it is there, on top of the Epson printer. And I've got it next to, oh, God, I'm struggling with getting the right angle here. Here we go. Everything's back to front. So that's the 50R, that there is the Fuji X-E1, which was my first ever mirrorless camera. So if you have a look at that, it is pretty much what the 50R is. They've kept the same design, which is really cool. So that's that. And then I'll grab this one as well for a size comparison. There we go. Put them side by side. Oh, let's go that way. So XE1, 50R. A little bit of size difference. But yeah, it was my first ever mirrorless camera, so that's going to stay with me forever. It'll be a collector's item one day, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Let's have a look in the chat. What's going on? Not much sunrise here today in Sydney. No, there wasn't. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, this is a better time, says Andrew. I see a duck. Yeah, that's my Harley Davidson duck. Does that count? He found a baby blue ring. Gosh. What else we got here? Interesting about the red channel. Yeah. Budding still inox. I didn't know that. Yeah, either did I, actually. I use inox on my jet ski, so. Let's have a look. It was blurred, yes. Thankfully, it was blurred. Maybe YouTube did it. It was too much for the YouTube people. Shower scene, no go scary stuff. Congrats, cracking shot, Ren. Yes. Is Panasonic already discussed? Panasonic. Are we discussing Panasonic? I didn't know we were discussing Panasonic. What would we doing about Panasonic? I got a new cap. I've had that cap for a long time. For those of you that don't know, I've participated every year in helping to run the Fujifilm People with Cameras event. It's been running for a few years now. And I help promote it and get there on the day and sort of help out wherever they need it. And so that's a cap that I got by participating and helping out. I've got a couple of them. I've got one that says People with Cameras on it. And I've got a shirt as well, which I might wear in one of my 50R videos with my hat and be a total Fujifilm fanboy just to really annoy the trolls. Let's do that. Alrighty. Close but no cigar. For what? Cigar for what? Don't know. G'day, Richard. Good to have you here. Christopher Stubbs, g'day. Ren, g'day, Ren. A bit late, that's okay. We just announced you as the winner. You get to announce the next challenge theme, Ren, so that's up to you. Oh, Panasonic just announced 2 new cameras, did they? Haven't heard about it, so I'll have to look at the news. But I don't really follow Panasonic. Yeah, but I'll check it out. I'll check it out because obviously people like. I know I did a workshop in Tassie last year, and I had a fella there called Peter, and Peter had Lumix cameras. They were really good. So I mean everybody makes good cameras now. That's what I say. People say to me, "What camera should I get?" I said, "Get whatever camera you like. Don't worry about it. They're all good." Compared to my D70 or whatever it was, my first digital DSLR, you get whatever you like, and you're going to be doing really well, you know. So many people get hung up on all these cameras these days, me included. Like, I love it. I love the fact that having these later model cameras are making our life easier. There's no doubt about it. But don't worry too much about it. If you're in a position where you don't have excess funds to be buying it, or you can't justify it, you know what I say? Before you upgrade your camera, spend your money on a plane ticket and go somewhere, or travel somewhere. Spend it on a hotel somewhere. Go and hunt down some amazing spots to take photos, because it'll be money well spent. Yes, cool. Okay, good. So let's jump into a little bit more. So anyway, yep, so the VIPs now, you know about the new editing challenge. You can see that in the group, and it's in its infancy. So if you've got any ideas about the rules or how you'd like to see it working, let me know. But you've got 2 weeks for each challenge now. So the VIP challenge you've got 2 weeks for. Plus you can go back 90 days, and for the editing challenge you got 2 weeks for. So we changed that to make it really easy. The difference will be if we don't do a pixel chatter, we'll still do a judging, and we'll just announce it inside the VIP group, because I don't want to go a month without a challenge. All right, just a little bit of news before we get into the critiques. Part of that news is that I don't have a lot of images for critique. So, if you do want your images critiqued on the show and you're happy to have your images shown on YouTube, because that's what's going to happen. And look, I always say it's just my opinion. I give it a little bit of my slant, how I would edit it, or a bit of advice on things like camera settings or technical aspects of your photo, composition, etc. It doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not one of these people that says I'm right and you're wrong. Everyone, if you enjoy your photography and you like the photo that you took, and I say something that you don't agree with, that's okay. That's 100% okay. The reality is that I'm going to give you my slant on it, and it's not just for you, it's for all the viewers to get some ideas and tips and hints on how to better take photos and then process their photos. And so it's a really safe environment. I want to let you know that it's a safe environment. You don't have to feel like you're going to be, put down or anything like that. I really do my best to make sure that I encourage people and help you to get the most out of this hobby. So having said that, if you want to get your images critiqued, and I would love for you to send some in, send them in to me at ben@on3legs.com. That's my email address, and it's on 3 legs with the word. It is down in the description below, so you can just shoot me an email with that email address. Of course, you can always contact me through my Facebook page as well if you're not sure what to do, and I'll help you get those images in. Best thing to do is send me 3 separate images, give me the EXIF data, and a little bit of a description about how you shot it, if you can remember. And then I will edit. I'll critique those on the show. So I do need more of those. The second bit of news that I've got is the calendar. I still have. I did have 9. I've got 8 left now. I've got 8 calendars, and I printed. It was my first time ever doing a calendar. I really screwed up in the timing, and then I had the whole issue with Apple, and the Mac had to be rebooted, and they didn't want me to restore anything from backup, so I had to re-import all my photos. Long story, big, sob, poor Ben. So it meant that it took me a long time to get the calendar out and about, and I think everybody bought their calendars. Anyway, I printed 50, I've sold about 30, I've gifted about 10 to friends, family, and special people in my life, and I've still got 8 left. Now, I was selling them for $30 Australian plus postage. I've now done free worldwide postage. Just to give you an idea, it cost me $20 to post these things around the world. I will lose money when I send them out. But I would rather they went to somebody than me hang on to them. Otherwise, I'm just going to give them away. So if you want to grab one of those 8s, it's $30 Australian. Links down below. Go for it. And I will ship it to you for free anywhere in the world. And this year, by the way, I'm going to do a bit of training on how to put your own calendar together, by the way. So if you want to do a calendar, I'm going to help you do that. But I wanted to do one first, so I knew how to do it. And it is all about partnering with the right people to get the best quality. All right, so that's that. The final thing is Tasmania. Heading to Tasmania in May. Already have 5, I think, VIPs booked in, coming along with us to Tassie. And Michael has a couple of people from his group coming. We still have a couple of spots left. So it's May the 5th till May the 9th, 4 nights, 5 days. Cradle Mountain Lodge, amazing place to stay. And we're going to be shooting, the iconic shots up there. And it's just a great time. Once again, there's a couple of people in here that have been to the workshop before. We have a great time. What I'm going to be doing this time, in addition, is after the workshop, on the very end of the workshop, when we get back to Launceston, so on the 9th of May, I'm going to do a VIP dinner. So anybody who's in Tassie who wants to come catch up, or the VIPs that are on the workshop that want to catch up, you'll be able to come and catch up with me. So, and we'll have a dinner. We'll just do a VIP dinner, which will be a bit of fun. And I mean, by that time, we'll get to know the other people on the workshop as well. So we'll probably invite them as well. And then I'm staying in Tassie for a few days on a little secret mission where there'll be no internet, no phone, no television, just me, my camera, and the wilderness. So I'm looking forward to that. My thoughts go with everybody in Tassie right now because they've got tremendous amounts of horrific fires down there. And it's really destroying a lot of the amazing wilderness areas down there. So my thoughts are with them down there, and hopefully the firefighters down there have got the strength to fight this behemoth of a fire or fires, natural disaster. It's terrible what Mother Nature can do sometimes, but it is what it is. So we've just got to wish them the best. Not much else we can do. Alrighty. So, what will be the closing day for the challenge? Asked Brian. Yeah, good question. I don't think I put that up in the last challenge. But essentially, the day before Pixel Chatter, so the Friday. So the new challenge will be announced probably the same timing, Monday or Tuesday, because I've got to wait for the category to be announced. So if somebody announces the category early, then it'll go up earlier, but the latest will be Monday or Tuesday morning, because then if it gets to that point, I'll be deciding on the theme. And then you'll have Friday week. So the entries will close midnight Friday night our time, I think, or it doesn't really matter. So long as the entries are in at least half an hour before the start of Pixel Chatter, then we'll be fine. How's that? I don't want to make it too strict. I just want Peter to get out there and take photos. So cool. Alrighty. Okay, so that's news. More news. That's it's becoming a news show. Dun, 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 and here is photo news. Now, the other thing that I did get good feedback about, and I think I'll do another video, is I did a video of other vloggers that you should follow. And people said to me, oh, but you didn't include Thomas Heaton and you didn't include... Well, they don't need any help, right? The whole idea of the video was to find the people that are out there having a go that need some extra exposure. Not that I'm huge, because I'm not. But I just felt it was a good idea and it was well received. So if you do know of any other vloggers that I may not know about, and I've got a lot of people sent me messages now. I've got about 15 now that I'm following that I didn't know existed. Let me know, and I'm going to put together another one of those videos. I think that's pretty cool. We have got a couple of other vloggers in here with us today: Andrew Marr, Andrew Dawes, Colin Stalker, and you'll see my next video. Colin's with me. The video after that, Andrew's with me. So we're sort of catching up, which is cool. You know, it's such a good community. I love the YouTube thing. All right, so let's jump into the critiques. I'm just going to change my screen over so we can jump into the image critique images. Let's do that. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, follow me on social media. Been making a real effort with my Instagram, by the way, and I've added about 500 followers in 6 months, maybe 4 months. And they're all genuine. It's about putting the time and effort into commenting, posting. You know, so it's a bit of work, but I'm really enjoying Instagram. I think it's great for photographers. I really built my platform. I started by building on Facebook, and Facebook has, I think, let us down, because without paying to play now, no one sees any of your stuff. Anyway, all right, let's jump across to Lightroom and have a look at these two images that we've got today. So the first image here, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. There we go. So this one here is by Craig Gillespie. Sorry, Craig. Craig Gillespie. Craig's relatively new to submitting images to Pixel Chatter for critique, so I really appreciate that, mate. And then the other one that we've got here is by Dennis Stewell. And Dennis has put a few in the past, and so we're going to have a look at this one of Dennis's as well. But we'll start here with Craig's, and we'll take a look through. And just a reminder, if you want to submit an image for image critique, the email address to send it to is down below. Send 3 images. If you can do 3,000 pixels on the longest edge, that helps me out, and it makes it a decent size for me to be able to share it here on the Pixel Chatter show. Okay, so here we go. We've got a night shot. I always love night shot. Any shots with the stars can be quite difficult to get, and you know, you'll get a really good reward when you get out there and you get a shot. You know, so well done, Craig, on getting this one. It's pretty good. I'm going to talk about a couple of things just to help you understand the best way to shoot at night. Here he's also done a bit of light painting. So he says he's taken on a spring night outside the front of our farm shed late one night. How good is it to have a farm shed that you can just go out and shoot this? Man, love it. The light spread from the bottom of frame is from the shed light. Light in the background is from machinery work lights working in the fields. So that's pretty normal these days. You see that they're putting lights on to work at night. So he shot this at ISO 1000 on his, let me just see, the XF Sony camera. ILCE 7M2, so it's like a one of the smaller ones, I think, and not really sure which model that is. Someone might be able to tell me. FE 28mm f2 lens, 25 seconds at f2.5. All right, ISO 1000. So let's talk a bit about night photography. One of the biggest challenges you're going to be faced with is the fact that it is dark. As soon as it gets dark, getting an exposure is harder, right? So you need a longer exposure. So this would have been on a tripod, would have to be. The challenge you're going to have is that you need to go to a wider aperture to let more light in. And so your depth of field gets affected dramatically. And when you've got things in the foreground, let me just, oh gosh, this is what happens when I try and use my mouse pad instead of my tablet to zoom in. When you've got things in the foreground like this, if I could just zoom in on that, sometimes you'll find that you'll get it out of focus. Now this is pretty good, it's not too bad looking at this image. And you've got to remember these are so far away that it's going to be hard to get the two in the same depth of field when you're shooting at f2.5. So there's a couple of options. One is to think about what is most important to be sharp. Now, these stars are so far away, you're not going to see whether they're sharp or not. They're just white dots in the sky when you look at the pixels. Now, if I had the full resolution photo, you would see in more detail, but here it's a bit harder. I think I need to get my tablet instead of this mouse pad. Oh, I'm just going to switch over to that. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's do this. Come on. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to focus either on your foreground or your background. When you zoom right in, you'll see these stars. Now, it's hard in this picture because we're looking at a JPEG, but if I was looking at a full res photo, you'd probably find they would be relatively sharp, those stars. So it's done a pretty good job. When I do this, I would be tempted to blend two together because it's not hard to do, and you would definitely get all your foreground nice and sharp. Now this looks pretty sharp. Once again, I'm looking at a JPEG file, so it's a bit hard, as opposed to probably the raw image. I think, when you shoot at night, there's not a lot else you can do, right? You've got to shoot wide open aperture. And the secret is with your shutter speed. So he's got 25 seconds on a 28mm lens. You've got to try and make it, there is a formula, and somebody might share it with me. I can't actually remember what it is now, but there is a formula. And if you Google it, shooting at night formula for star trails, there's a point at where you won't get movement in the stars. I'm sure someone can share it for me in the comments. I think Andrew Marr would know. He's done a bit of night photography. But I think I wouldn't worry too much about it unless you really want sharp stars, and then you've got to blend. The other thing you can do, which I tend to do, is probably go a higher ISO at night and be okay with it, depending on the camera. But the cameras of today are the noise level's so much less than what it was in the past that you can get away with it. So if you want a quicker shutter speed, don't be afraid to up your ISO, even up to 1600 or 2500. So if you look at that shot of mine of the Aurora that I took, that was done at 2500 ISO 2500. So yeah, it's the 500 rule. But how does it work? I know it's the 500 rule. Is it you divide it by 500? Your focal length? No, you do something. I can't remember what you do. By the way, I failed school. I'm not good at maths. And I've done photography for so long. People ask me, how do you work out the shutter speed so quickly when you put your big stopper on? And it's just automatic in most cases now, because once you've worked out your shutter speed difference between what it was without the big stopper and with it a few times, I just remember it. It's not that I'm clever at maths. It's just that I can remember what the setting is. So there you go. All right. So that's sort of on the technical details. I don't think there's much you could do better. I think it's pretty good. You know, this lighting is a bit harsh, so, you know, but it's not in your control by the sounds of things. It's just some lighting coming off of the... Yeah, rule of 500 is the ideal guide, but I don't know what the rule of 500 is. I'll Google it later and see if I can find out. Yeah, I'd find this light is a little bit harsh on this foreground, and I would have been tempted to do a little bit of light painting to sort of to maybe settle down the sides here, the shadows on the side. But that, once again, it's up to each individual. My other bit of feedback from a composition point of view is this buggy. You've put it in the foreground, so it's now becoming a bit of a shot hero, but it's right on the bottom of the frame, you know, right, like it's right on the bottom of the frame, too close. So, you know, just be careful when you're composing your shots. You know, there's plenty of sky. If you had just aimed down a little bit, got the buggy in a little bit more, I think you would have been better off. If we jump into the develop module, you'll see I could easily crop this image down and it will still look fine. I could turn it into a pano, which people know I love to do, and it will give it more impact. Okay, and that's the you know, when it comes to composition, we've got to be there we go. Divide 500 by the focal length of your lens. Awesome, thank you, mate. I knew it was something like that. So, you know, don't be afraid to, like, I know the stars are amazing, but our brains are really clever and we know what's going on above it. Now, if for example, you had the Milky Way up there, then you probably wouldn't want to do that, right? Because you're going to lose that. The Milky Way becomes the hero. But clearly here, what I think the hero of the shot is this in the foreground. Now, you're putting that in the foreground and you're making it the hero of the shot. So if you want that to be the hero of the shot, then you've got to have to make sure you leave some space around. It's just cut too tight for me. Then you've got some power lines over here that I'm finding distracting. I don't know if you can all see those. So don't be afraid to crop those out as well. It would be very easy to do. Like if you just quickly grab a crop tool, bring it in a bit. There it is. There it isn't. There it is. Oop, you know what? Oop, there it is. Oop, there it is. You know, gone. You don't even need any skills of photoshopping to get rid of them, and they're gone, you know. So little things like that are just easy to think about. Now, there is this light here on the horizon. I think you told me what that is, but I find that distracting. So things like that I just tend to try and get rid of. I don't want to have distracting elements like that in my shot. So, you know, don't be afraid to, up to you though. Once again, like I said, this is subjective. And you've got to decide what you want to have. It's your shot. So I tend to do something like that. All right. I've got to turn the opacity up a bit, I think. Oh, select that brush. Let's just give it some more. As usual. I'm too busy talking to concentrate on what I'm doing, and I'm pressing the wrong things. That's the other thing, is that I can't multitask. I'm not a multitasker. What am I doing the brush for? I need to do this one. All right, let's try again. Now we're in before and after. I'm still getting used to what buttons I've put everything on. I've pressed the wrong button. Okay, there we go. So what we should be able to do is... let's get rid of this one. I've done it again. Let's delete that one. Now we should be able to fix this. Now, by the way, I've got my old tablet here too. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Did I really do that? Oh my God, that's terrible. What am I doing? Let's try again. Okay, now I think I finally worked it out. Let's just get that done. I don't want that shrub there. So don't be afraid to sort of, you know, do a bit of this magic. There we go. That's better. So that distraction is now gone. If I do the before and after, which is this one here, you can see that just makes that light disappear. So little things like that, I'm really big on just removing, getting out of the shot. I don't think they add anything to it. And like I said, I would have framed this differently. So the you know, this tanker was more of a hero of the shot, something maybe like that. And on that note, if you've got a hero of the shot, don't be afraid to make it pop a little bit as well. So let's get a bit of clarity on this fella here. Just make him pop a little bit. Don't be afraid to give him a bit of oomph. You know, I won't do too much more to it, but that sort of gives you a few tips there anyway on getting the right results. And you know, if you that 500 rule, by the way, if you're wondering what that is, so now MER must have Googled it, I think, or just knew. 500 divided by the focal length of the lens. So, for example, 500 divided by 25 millimeters is 20 seconds. Now, this was a 28 millimeter lens. So, if we were to do that math, let's do that math. Let me just come back to this one here. Let's just do that math. So, 500 divided by 28 equals 17.8. So, what that says is anything more than about 18 seconds, you're going to start getting trails. So, if you want sharp stars, you've got to shoot at less than that. Now, the only way to increase the shutter speed here, because it's at f2.5, would be to increase the ISO. So that's the thinking behind it. And so if you want to... Oh, I've upset my phone now doing that. Yeah, if you want to make sure you've got sharp shots, that's what you need to do. And that'll make sure that you know that you're taking a photo with sharp shots, with sharp stars in it. But, you know, once again, it depends on what you're trying to capture as to how important that is. All right, let's have a look at the second one. Oh, that's not good. Okay, go back to that. Okay. All right, I'm going to flip over the screen here. But good shot, eh, Craig? Well done. We all need to go to Craig's farm. Who wants to go to Craig's farm now? Let's jump into this next one. Okay, so this next one here is by Dennis Still, and we'll go through the technical details and talk a little bit about how this happened. All right. So this is at, as he said, Blue Ridge Mountains, North Carolina, USA. I love the photos we get in from all over the place. And it's shot on a Nikon D7200 with his 18 to 140 millimeter lens, which is like a kit lens. ISO 100 at 18 millimeters, so he's gone as wide as he can. And he's done it at 1/80th of a second, handheld. So it's a handheld shot at f8. So let's talk about the technical aspect first, because I think that's probably always a good place to start. And when you take your photos, don't be afraid to, jump in and critique your own work after you take a photo and go, okay, well, what could I have done better? And look at the technical details. Just do this very same thing on your own images. I quite often do it for myself. Just go through my own images and go, what could I have done better? What settings did I use? Why did I use those settings? What could I, it's always there's always something to be learnt. All right, so let's jump in here. First of all, the aperture of f8, I can see why you've done it. Now, there's another rule of thumb, by the way, that if you're shooting handheld, your shutter speed needs to be higher than your focal length. So, for example, let's say you're shooting with a 200 millimeter lens at 200 millimeter, your shutter speed needs to be 1/200th of a second or faster. Okay, so this is another rule. And so just think about that when you are handheld shooting. So that's just another rule. And I'm sure there is an app for all of these things. Someone says, is there an app for that? Maybe I need to create one. I have got a new project that I am going to work on coming up soon that hopefully I'm going to get onto Kickstarter and you guys can help me. It won't be an app. It'll be something similar, but something to help you. It helps photographers. All right. Yeah, it looks almost like a painting, doesn't it? It's beautiful. So from a technical aspect, ISO 100, you could have gone to ISO 400. You could have gone to 800. Don't be afraid when you're hand holding if you want to make sure that you're going to get a sharp shot to increase it. Now, it's 1/80th of a second. So given that rule, he's well in the safe zone, which is good. Now, that rule was created before VR lenses were sort of created. So VR lenses do make a difference. If you've got a VR on your lens, switch it on when you're hand holding. Switch it off when you're on the tripod. Probably the biggest thing I can see here that's a challenge is the aperture. So if we have a look, just zoom in. Oh, let me just zoom in here. We have a look here. Oh, now I don't want to do rating. Let's try again. There we go. If we have a look here at this fence post, the front of this fence here is out of focus. It doesn't take long for it to get into focus, but it is out of focus. Now, on something like this, where would you focus? This is the big question. Where would you focus? Would you focus out here? You know, where the mountains are? Would you focus here? I would have probably focused on this tree. That's probably what I would have picked as my focus point. Now, probably people go, why would you do that? Well, I want to make sure that my foreground is sharp. This in the background, if it's not completely sharp, it's not going to matter. You know, it's clouds, it's mountains, it's trees, not going to matter. But all of this is really important. So I probably would have focused on this tree. I would have shot at a high f-stop to try and get everything in focus. And if I couldn't get everything in focus, I would have done one focusing on this pole, one focusing then on this pole, on this tree, and maybe another one down here. And I would have made that my focus across the image that way to give me 3 images to stack together, maybe one at the back as well. And it's if you've got Photoshop and Lightroom, it's really easy to do. If you don't, I don't know, there must be other focus stacking programs, but it's easy to do in Lightroom and Photoshop. But you could have achieved the same thing. I keep sliding my hand on the tablet. That's the difference. For those of you that don't know, I've updated from the Intuos 4 Pro to this Wacom tablet, the new one, and it's a touch. I've enabled touch, and if you slide your hand across it, sometimes it does like it thinks it's a gesture. But I've left it on because I really do find it makes editing much easier. So that's probably my first thing, as I'd say, just be careful with things like that. Don't be afraid to step back a bit as well. Now, I'm saying that without knowing what was behind him. It might have been a railway line, might have been a road, who knows. But when you get real close to something, focus is going to be an issue. There's no two ways about it. You know, your camera has a challenge focusing this close and then to the distance. So just keep that in mind when you're out there composing shots. I love the composition. I love the way the fence comes in and goes through. I love the fact that we can see the end grain of the wood here, but I just wish it was sharp. These sort of things, by the way, really lend themselves to bringing out the detail. And you know, if we jump into the develop module and grab a brush and see clarity's I've already got that up. You know, let's just bring the detail out on this wood. Oh, now I accidentally, where's my alt button? I accidentally went over here. So, you know, don't be afraid to really enhance the detail of things like this wood. You know, and the trees. Look at that. And I'll do it before and after in a second. I'm doing this really rough, but you'll get the picture. You'll get the picture. Pardon the pun. You know, this stuff works really well. So if I now do a before and after, just look at the difference in the wood. So that's before and that's after. Where do I put my lights out? Up there we go. Let's do before and after. Before and after. Can you just see the difference? Now, it's probably a bit too extreme. So you can always, once you've done it, you can always just back it off or increase it, okay, with the slider, which is a good thing. And if you feel like you want to add something else to it, let's say I want to warm it up a bit. Let's warm the timber up a bit. I can add some temp, a little bit of exposure, some contrast. Let's reduce the highlights. You know, let's adjust the whites and the blacks. You know, you can do whatever you like. And this is the good thing about, you know, once you've got a selection like that, is you can do whatever you like. Now, if we have a look now at the before and after, you know, I've made a big difference. Okay, and it just sort of brings it to life. It was a bit flat. The other thing is the image is a bit flat overall, so don't be afraid to add a little bit of, you know, dehaze, a bit of contrast. You know, drop the blacks a bit. And you'll once again find that you'll get something a bit more pleasing to the eye. It's probably a bit oversaturated. There we go. I'll just bring that back a bit. Okay, warm that back up. So I'm just playing around here, but there you go. The other thing with a composition like this, I'm always hesitant to leave a gap along a tree like that. So either leave a bigger gap or use that as an excuse to, bring your frame in a bit closer, something like this. Let's have a look and see how that looks. So the tree's still there. We've got that beautiful detail, but we don't have this distracting gap of nothing on the left of that. If this was in focus, that would be even more amazing. I would have been tempted to probably come back a little bit and include a bit more of this fence. You've got these beautiful, look at this beautiful bit of old rusted steel hanging out where they've joined the fence together. It's a great opportunity to really, to really take advantage of some weathered timber and make it look amazing. But I think otherwise it's a good shot. Well done. Thanks for sending it in. So, it's always great to have a couple of images to critique. So thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to join in the fun and send your images in for critique, the link is down below where you can email your images to. It's ben@on3legs.com. That's the word 3. Alrighty. So thank you to Dennis and to Craig for sending your images in. I really do appreciate it. All right. Now, if you do want to send something in, I've still got the worldwide sticker board up in the back. I asked last year what people wanted to do about it. We got a few people sent their worldwide stickers in, but not many. So I've got to decide what we're going to do. One of the suggestions was I print up the challenge winner's photo on the printer each week, but it's noisy. It's a bit hard to do, and I'm afraid if I use full-size images, I would need a decent-size image to do it. So I'm not sure that that's going to be the best thing during a live stream to do it, and it may crash my computer. I don't know. I'm always a bit worried. Andrew Dawes, use that as an excuse to make it panoramic. Always. Always. You guys know what I'm like. Love a good pano. Although I haven't, you know what? I've been making a real effort this year, not to crop my photos, which sounds odd, but I sort of decided that I didn't want to crop my photos. Now, I'm just going to give you a teaser. There's going to be a video coming out tomorrow night. And I'll just thought what I'll do is I'll give you a quick teaser, maybe. Let's see if it's going to work. It's not going to work, is it? Maybe. So there'll be a video coming out tomorrow night of me focus stacking. Let me find the right image. So I've got a couple of images that are, come on, load up. Will it load up? Don't know. No, it's going to, the computer doesn't like it. Oh, here we go. So I'll show you this image. So I took a couple of images when I was out with Colin from up there, Colin Stalker. And I'll just lights out this one. There we go. So this, I took this with the Fujifilm GFX 50S, and I used the focus stacking feature. And so if you're interested in that video is going to come out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Okay, so if you're interested in learning a bit about photo stacking or seeing the results, I don't go through doing it in the computer, but that was photo stacked. And this was the other one that was also photo stacked. And I decided to leave the background out of focus and just keep the rock really sharp. Whether that was the right thing to do or not, I don't know. I thought it was a bit arty. We didn't get any colour that morning, and I was struggling because of the lens that I had, but the rocks at that Putty Beach are just amazing. So that video comes out tomorrow night if you want to watch it at 7 p.m. Australia Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'll just check the chat box one more time. Let's have a look. Easy for me to look at the chat box over here. Okay. VR will save the day. Yeah, it can. Try Photo Pills. Photo Pills, does it do all that? I don't know. I've never used Photo Pills. Vlogging. Talking about the M50 by the looks of things. It's like watching me in Lightroom. Yeah, well, I was using... I've always used a tablet, and so... the Intuos 4 was second nature to me. When I had to upgrade everything. I had to reinstall the drivers. Something happened, and it won't. It's missing part of its programmability in my Mac for some reason. It might work on a PC, I don't know, or an older Mac. And then I got this new Wacom, which I love, by the way. I'll do a follow-up video on the Wacom because it is really good. So it's really good because I'm used to using this. Okay, this is a touchpad. And so I use hand gestures to make the computer do things. And all of those hand gestures I can do on my Wacom tablet now. So I just have my tablet in front of me and that's it. But I'm still getting used to it because I haven't used it enough this year. All right, well, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm just having a look through that. Anything else in the chat box? How you liking the bay? Yeah, so Steve, you do shoot up in that bay a fair bit, Steve, don't you? So Steve is Spanner, by the way, Andrew. He's always up there in Salamander Bay and up that way, Nelson Bay. Yeah. Third of the way in, says Greg, for focusing. Yeah. I've seen a few tests done. It's always difficult to know. Catch you next week. So reminder that this Pixel Chatter is now becoming fortnightly. So the next Pixel Chatter is on the 16th of Feb. There will be no Pixel Chatter next week. Okay, no Pixel Chatter next week. So will you get another Oki? I don't know. My P.o.Box is down below. Feel free to send me in any little creatures you want me to take on photographic journeys. We might find Oki. Who knows? I've put the word out there. I've put a search. What do we got? A search crew. What do they call them? A search party. There we go. A search party's out there. Let's hope we find Oki. Who knows where he is? Anyway. Until next time, get out there, take some photos. Thanks for tuning in. You're absolutely amazing. A special shout out to the VIPs. I love you. I love the fact that you support the channel, and I think everybody should give you a pat on the back for making this possible. All right, until next week, take care. Get out there, take some photos. See ya.